The synthetic motor oil market is worth over $30 billion a year, and a massive chunk of that number is built on a legal lie hiding in plain sight, printed right on the bottle you trust with your engine. Here is the thing. Every time you pick up a bottle stamped full synthetic, you are assuming that phrase means something, that it is regulated, that someone verified what is inside before it hit the shelf. It is not. There is no government body, no regulatory agency, and no independent watchdog policing that label. Translation: any oil company can legally print full synthetic on a bottle of processed crude oil, and there is nothing stopping them. What these brands will never tell you is that there is a massive, measurable difference between Group 3 hydrocracked oil and true PAO, Polyalphaolefin, Group 4 synthetic. One is mineral oil refined within an inch of its life. The other is engineered molecule by molecule in a laboratory, same bottle, same price. Completely different story inside your engine. Stick around until the end, because the final brand on this list has a label disclaimer so damning it should have been pulled from shelves the moment it was printed. Brand 1. Castrol Edge. Before any other brand on this list figured out how to play this game, Castrol wrote the rulebook. In 1999, Mobil sued Castrol for calling Group 3 mineral-derived oil synthetic. The National Advertising Division ruled in Castrol's favor, not because Group 3 is chemically synthetic, but because no enforceable legal definition of the word existed. Castrol did not fix the problem. It weaponized the ruling. Castrol Edge's own MSDS sheet lists 80 to 85% highly refined mineral base oil. That is Group 3. Its viscosity index sits between 120 and 130. True PAO hits 130 to 150 plus. That gap matters enormously in turbocharged engines, in sustained heat, in high RPM applications. Exactly the conditions Castrol's marketing implies it was built for. And get this, they charge $11 to $13 a quart for it, the same price as legitimate PAO synthetics. Castrol Edge is the wolf that taught the entire pack how to wear sheep's clothing. It invented the loophole it still profits from today. But if you think Castrol is the only one exploiting that ruling, wait until you hear what Pennzoil built its entire premium line on. Brand 2, Pennzoil Platinum. Pennzoil Platinum launched with enormous fanfare, made from natural gas, not crude oil. That sounds revolutionary. Here is the thing, it is still Group 3. Shell, which owns Pennzoil, developed a gas-to-liquid process, GTL, to convert natural gas into base oil. The output is cleaner and more consistent than standard hydrocracked Group 3. Shell calls it Pure Plus technology. What they do not tell you is that by most industry classification standards, GTL-derived oil is still categorized as Group 3 Plus, not Group 4 PAO. The real kicker is that this is not Pennzoil's first credibility problem. In a federal case back in 1992, two of Pennzoil's three leading brands failed the most demanding viscosity breakdown test in the industry. The court confirmed it. Decades later, the premium pricing remains. The base oil tier does not. Pennzoil Platinum is gas station coffee in a 5-star cup, cleaner than the average brew, still not espresso. Brand 3. Valvoline Advanced Full Synthetic. Millions of drivers hand their keys to Valvoline instant oil change locations every week without a second thought. According to a class action lawsuit filed in February of 2026, that trust may have been catastrophically misplaced. The lawsuit alleges Valvoline used incorrect oil type and viscosity during customer oil changes, causing engine damage, decreased performance, fuel economy loss, and voided warranties. Customers who paid full synthetic pricing may have received the wrong product entirely. And even setting the lawsuit aside, Valvoline Advanced Full Synthetic is built on Group 3 base stock with an ester additive blend, not PAO. It retails at prices directly comparable to Mobil 1, a genuine PAO product. Adding esters to a Group 3 foundation does not make it Group 4. It makes it a better Group 3. The label still says full synthetic. The price still says premium. Valvoline is charging you for a tailor-made suit and handing you something off the rack, then assuring you the difference is undetectable. If this is already making your blood boil, there are 5 more brands on this list. Hit subscribe right now. The investigations we have coming on oil company deception will save you money and protect your engine. Back to the list. Brand 4. Castrol GTX Magnetec. Magnetec Intelligent Molecules. It sounds like something from a NASA clean room. Real kicker is that those intelligent molecules are clinging to your engine walls from a Group 3 hydrocracked base stock. Same origin as Brand 1, different marketing campaign. Fluid titanium technology and Magnetec intelligent molecules are real additive descriptors. They exist and they do improve certain metrics. but they say nothing about the base oil making up 80 to 90% of that bottle. Here is where it gets truly cynical. By centering the marketing entirely on additive branding, Castrol redirects consumer attention away from base oil group altogether. Nobody in the oil aisle is asking what API group the Magnetec is built on. They are reading about titanium molecules. The misdirection is not accidental, it is the strategy. Premium additives on a Group 3 foundation cannot raise that foundation's thermal sealing, its oxidation resistance, or its NOAC volatility rating. In a turbocharged engine under sustained heat, the base oil is what determines longevity. And here, it is Group 3, at a premium price. Magnetec molecules clinging to your engine wall. Brilliant advertising, built on refined crude oil. Brand 5, Quaker State Ultimate Durability, Full Synthetic Pennzoil. 2 legendary names. 2 distinct identities, 1 parent company, 1 base oil, 1 supply chain. Bottom line, Shell is selling you the same oil twice in 2 different bottles, at full premium markup both times. After acquiring both brands, Shell consolidated their production under the same GTL Group 3 Plus platform. Quaker State Ultimate Durability and Pennzoil Platinum use the same base oil, the same processing origin, the same chemical classification. Only the bottle and the target demographic are different. And get this, both sit side by side in retail stores at nearly identical price points, creating the illusion of competition. When you stand in that aisle convinced you are choosing between 2 competing technologies, you are choosing between 2 labels. The oil going into your engine is functionally the same, regardless of which one you grab. Shell is selling you the same engine in 2 different car bodies. Full premium markup, twice. Have you ever had an engine problem and later discovered the oil you were using was not truly synthetic? Drop it in the comments. We read every single one, and your story might end up in our next investigation. Brand 6, Amalie XL, Premium Motor Oil. Everything so far involves legal, if deeply misleading, classification practices. Amalie XL is something else entirely. This product's own fine print contains a disclaimer so extraordinary you will not believe it until you see it. The front of the bottle promises premium protection. Protects like no other. Then you flip it over and find this in the fine print. The oil is not suitable for most gasoline-powered automobile engines built after 1930. And in case that was not enough, it adds that use in modern engines may cause unsatisfactory engine performance and equipment harm. Not suitable for engines built after 1930. Every vehicle on American roads falls into that category. A lawsuit was filed over this exact deception. The product stayed in distribution. The front of the bottle is the sales pitch. The back is the legal shield. Any damage claim pre-neutralized by fine print nobody reads. The company told you, right there, behind the barcode. Amalie XL is an umbrella with waterproof on the front and not for use in rain, buried in the footnotes. Brand 7, store brand full synthetic oils. You have been trained to believe that paying less means getting less. So when Supertech sits at under $10 a quart and Kirkland's Signature at 6 to 8, you assume they cannot compete with the $11 bottles. You are right, but not for the reason you think. The real scam is that the $11 Group 3 bottle should not cost $11 either. Supertech and Kirkland both carry AP/ISP certification. The same badge on bottles triple their price. Both are Group 3. Both legally say full synthetic. Both deliver acceptable performance in standard driving conditions. And both are more honest about their price point than the premium brands charging 60% more for the same base oil tier. Independent NOAC volatility and oxidation resistance tests consistently show Group 3 store brands underperforming PAO in high temperature and turbo applications. That gap is real, but so is the gap between a $7 and an $11 Group 3 oil, and that gap is almost entirely made of advertising spend. Every bottle in this aisle is wearing the same tuxedo. One arrived in an Uber, the other flew private. The label will not tell you which is which. Brand 8, Shell Helix Ultra. Sold in over 100 countries. Formula One associations, top-tier pricing. And beneath the Pure Plus technology branding, found by most industry classification standards, a Group 3 oil. Helix Ultra runs on the same GTL Group 3 Plus platform as Pennzoil Platinum and Quaker State Ultimate Durability. Same parent company. Same base oil process, same chemical classification. Shell has repackaged the same technology 3 times across 3 brand identities, targeting 3 different consumer price perceptions, budget, mid-range, and premium, with the same fundamental product. Here is where it gets truly significant. The driver buying Helix Ultra at premium pricing almost certainly believes they are getting PAO equivalent protection, especially for a turbocharged European spec or performance engine. These are exactly the applications where the gap between Group 3 Plus and true PAO becomes measurable and meaningful. Sustained heat, extended drain intervals, extreme cold starts. And get this, Mobil 1 Full Synthetic, a genuine PAO product, sits at a comparable or lower price point in many retail environments. The consumer paying premium for Helix Ultra could purchase true PAO for the same money or less. Shell Helix Ultra is the most polished Group 3 oil in the aisle, and the most expensive one to be wrong about. The motor oil industry is a battlefield between truth and the bottom line, and for over 2 decades the bottom line has been winning. What you have seen today is not a collection of isolated incidents. This is a systemic, industry-wide exploitation of a single legal loophole opened in 1999, and every brand with a profit motive walked right through it. Here is the one thing you can do right now. Pull the product data sheet for whatever oil is in your vehicle. Look for the words PAO, Polyalphaolefin, or Group 4 in the base oil description. If those words are not there, and in most cases they will not be, you are running Group 3. It may be a perfectly adequate oil for standard driving in a naturally aspirated engine, but for turbocharged applications, extended drain intervals, or extreme temperatures, it is not delivering what the front of that bottle implied. Knowing the difference is not complicated once you know what to look for, and now you do. Hit subscribe if you want the truth about what is really going inside your engine, because the oil companies certainly are not going to tell you.